This is the AI-driven advisory report for Dwarsfontein P8, created on 10 February 2026. You will see that the satellite passed over on the 7th of February and the report generated from there. We will look at some of the indexes, first off the NDVI, and you will see that the field is all in good state with all the indexes green with the analysis scale on the right hand side. We look at some of the other indexes, for instance the EVI, and wait for that to load. And once the field is populated, again you have the analysis scale on the right hand side, and you will clearly see the mark where the pivot lies from east to west, but with accurate measurements of the field. Then another index, which is the SAVI, and again we can compare it while it populates or loads with the scale on the right hand side. We go back to our drop down list and look at one more index, which is the NDRE, and your agronomist or our agronomist will explain to you what all of those are, and you will see there are very precise measurements across the pivot, which gives us an idea. The pivot in total 33.84 hectares, as you see at the top. Now we look at a couple of indexes with regards to irrigation. Sorry for the delay. A couple of indexes with regards to irrigation, and we look at the first one, and the NDWI for water stress indication. We look at another index, the evapotranspiration index, which seems that this field retains its water well. That's a good index, a good reading. And then the NDMI index. And wait for that to load. There you go. So then we go to yet another very, very important index. We get to the drop down list and we pull up our soil organic carbon reading. Very, very important to see what the carbon levels are within the soil, which is of course a growth medium. And you will see that it tallies with a dark green, with a darkish green on the scale, which means that the readings are good. Right, now to the artificial intelligence report, again Dwarsfontein P8 on the 7th of February. On the analysis scale, you can see that the field as a whole, nearly 95% in perfectly good health. A few issues require some attention, around about 4.6%, mainly with regards to irrigation. And if we click on the details of that, you will see why the system projected these kind of readings and how it got to it. We can always pause the video if you need to read, if you need some time to read it. We next go to the left of our AI report and look at our soil management readings. We see that there's a pH of 6.2, and let's see on the details whether or not that's a good reading. And there you get a perfectly good analysis of what the situation is. And very interesting to note that all data is with reference to local conditions, where this actual pivot is the Boyanala Platinum Regional Soil Map is the one used as a reference. We look at our growth and yield readings, and again the system projects what kind of yield we can expect and what the growth rate would be for the plants and when the harvest would be due. Then we go across and look at disease management, pests and diseases and weeds, and the system will project and predict which pests we are likely to be confronted with based on the prevailing conditions. And there you will see the percentage of risk of a particular pest or disease or plant infection. And again, when we look at the details, it will tell you how it got to that particular projection. Then we'll go to the top right and look at our irrigation advice, and the system will give us advice for each day for the upcoming week as to how much we should irrigate. You will see, notice there's one risk of high evapotranspiration, and the system says that we should irrigate with 6.5 millimeters. And again, we can drill down with more detail when we click on the details tab, and that gives you an idea of where the projection came from. And again, the data from local conditions, South African Weather Service, regional for the Boyanala Platinum region. So very, very particular readings. And finally, we look at our fertilization advice. And again, the system will give us the readings for nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, and zinc. And again, we click on the details, and it will tell us what those readings are, what the ideal readings should be, and how we get to where we should be on these readings.